Hey, it's Christina Feliciano. I have Mr. Jonnie Parsons here. He is an entrepreneur. He is a man of God, a father, a grandfather, a husband, and we're gonna follow. Sorry, let me start again. I'm
Go
never
ahead.
nervous. I'm nervous with you.
It's all good.
With
Relax.
me? No, not with you. Oh. But just like honestly, you're like the biggest like person that I've had on as far as having like the
I'm
most
not big at
following.
all.
Well, as far as having the most like following and things like
Yeah.
that, that's what I mean. I mean, I've had like people that
It
are like
happened in like a year.
yeah, you're the biggest that I've had as far as like for a collaboration, to do that's been a following. Like I've had like people that are like won Stanley Cups and
I'm normal.
but anyway,
Ain't
so
nothing
I
wrong
don't
with
know
me.
why I'm just like anxious. All right, so let's start again. Hey, this is Christina Feliciano with Feliciano and Friends. I have Mr. Jonnie Parsons here. He is an entrepreneur, an empowerment coach, father, a husband, a grandfather, and really appreciate that you being here. So thank
Thank you.
you.
Yeah. Thank you for
So
the opportunity.
of course. So you've built a life. Actually, to start, tell us a little about your business and who you are.
So I'll start with who I am because
Yeah,
I feel like you're not what you do for a living.
for sure.
But just a normal down south Florida boy, born and raised in Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, Florida. Um, which is I think probably one of the best places to grow up. And
Yeah.
I'll be 40 this year. I've still never seen snow before.
Oh
So
wow.
real true Florida boy. Normal childhood growing up. I think that like there was like no like trauma or anything from like uncles like beating me or anything or like uh like my uncle. One of the worst things. I was like 6. My uncle, I remember, gave me some Canadian Mist whiskey. So like early on, like that was the thing for like my family. Some people's families are like drinkers, but my family, other than my uncle was a drinker. They all smoke pot.
Okay.
So that was like growing up. We would go to like family birthday parties and just my older brother, older sister, they were all smoking pot.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what I was introduced to early on. Um, and but I mean, like I thought it was normal. I thought it was just
Hmm.
something that like when I grew up, I was gonna do it too,
Yes.
kind of deal. But played sports growing up, so I think that kind of like solidified like a disciplined mindset and like being a team player from a young
Hmm.
age. Um, and was like I'm not saying it to like brag, but I was like really good at like everything I played.
Hmm.
Like I just got good. I eat, slept, breathed it, learned
And
it.
what sports did you play?
I played bowled whenever I was younger. And then my mom was a bowler. She was like pro and
That's pretty
won a
cool.
bunch of trophies. And then baseball was 5 years old till at high school. Is what I
Okay.
played. Got into a little bit of flag football younger, but street basketball was like an every night deal from like
Okay.
middle school on. So we played just at the local elementary school with the
Hmm.
night lights, and I still got like scars where like got my tooth put through my lip by getting elbowed and stuff. But sports was kind of like my foundation, I guess,
Hmm.
so to say. And I have older sister, 15 years older, older brother, 14 years older, younger brother, 5 years after me.
Okay.
So there was a big
Yeah,
gap
big gap.
between me and then 5 years till
Hmm.
my little brother. My little brother has Down syndrome. So
Okay.
I always say that because like Ben is awesome. I love my little brother to
Yeah.
death. He's always, I've supported him. I've been there for him
Yes.
his whole life. And but I say that because it impacted my childhood by, obviously he became the key,
Yeah.
uh,
Kind
you
of the
know,
source of attention.
100%.
Yeah.
So there was nothing wrong with that. I never
Yeah.
noticed it until like later in life. That
When you
like,
look
hey, maybe
back,
that's
yeah, in
why I was like
hindsight,
acting
yeah.
out, and maybe that's why I was
Mm.
doing this. And once I was able to process my childhood, I saw that about myself. And so from like probably a couple years after he was born, I'd say I was probably like 12, 13 years old. I just started getting in trouble. My parents like would try to ground me and stuff, and like I'd just leave. I'd do whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
Rebellious. Still played sports. It was still like pretty important to me in my life, but got a lot of negative attention. And I grew up with, I was diagnosed with ADHD,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
they had me on medication when I was younger, and I was intelligent. I used the
Hmm.
fact that I was on medication as like a excuse. Like I would get in a fight at school and like be like, oh, I forgot to take my medicine today, like
Yeah.
just to whatever reason I got in trouble
Yeah.
for, and then I would get away with it,
Yeah.
and so but all these things kind of like just conditioned me for what I was becoming, which
Mm-hmm.
was I ended up went into high school. In middle school, I was horrible.
Okay.
Worse probably. I think I still hold the record for referrals in middle
Okay.
school.
So you're a real bad kid.
Anything you could get in trouble for, I was getting in trouble for. And I mean, it was like class clown stuff. Like, I mean, I wasn't like a fighter or anything. Like,
Yeah.
only time I got in a fight is if somebody like attacked me. Like, I beat up the school bully in middle school, like,
Mm-hmm.
and because he pushed me down, and like, everybody thought I was like this big hero.
Yeah.
And but just stupid stuff. Get skipping class. And then as I got into high school, I kind of matured a little bit. Started smoking pot like regularly. I would say probably around in between like eighth and ninth grade.
Okay.
Um, and then drugs was like more important, became more important to me.
And did you go into harder drugs from there?
I stayed
Yeah.
with the I played sports in high school, so I was
Mm-hmm.
like did good enough in school to like get a C, so I could at least play on the. I ended up
Yeah.
playing
To,
football
mhm.
in high school. I was on the wrestling team, and I played on the baseball team. And like so, as long as I had a C, I was good. And
Yeah.
like most of the like I was pretty decent, in all sports. So football players didn't get in trouble. We didn't get detentions. Like the coach was like, "Go to class, Parsons."
So then for like the drugs, you got incarcerated, right? You were
Later on in
incarcerated.
life, yeah.
Okay. And was that like secondary drugs
So
or indirectly?
first time I got arrested, I was it was like I'd say 2 3 months before my 17th birthday. I did get into drugs later on in high school. So I dropped out the end of my 11th grade because I started going to the parties after the football games and started drinking quite a bit, and then moved into cocaine, moved into the other harder drugs, ecstasy. I think it was at that point drinking, and I started trying to sell them.
Okay.
So I got arrested whenever I was 17 years old. I was dating a Colombian girl, and I had basically like everything you could think of in this backpack in my buddy's car, and we got pulled over, and they just like started pulling it all. I was the
Yeah.
closest one to it. I didn't have anything on me.
So then how did you go from that to now you have a life that's like built around your family, discipline, legacy. So how did you phase in? I'm always interested in transformation stories. So how did you
The
transform?
transformation happened, I think, like whenever I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
I hit bottom really fast. Like I said,
Okay.
17 years old, already had like, horrible charges.
Yes.
Moved into at 21 years old, I ended up getting clean.
Oh, that's
So
pretty young to
I
get
had
clean. That's a blessing.
my
So you've
father.
been clean since 21?
No,
Oh, okay.
I like to say that it was a big happily ever after story, but that's
Okay.
not what happened.
Okay. And then it took a turn.
But I stayed clean from 21 to 27,
Okay.
almost 28. So it was almost 6 years clean.
Yes.
The first 3 to 4, like I got clean with my dad because he was a Vietnam vet Marine.
Okay.
So he used pot for 45
Mm-hmm.
years after he came back from Nam, and he raised me. So like we had a relationship unlike any of my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
But he actually had like 3 years clean, and he came. He's like, Johnny, come be a part of this. So
Okay.
that's when I picked up my first white key tag. Is at 21.
Okay.
Did with Narcotics Anonymous. Some people don't like to say whatever program they were in, but I was in
Yeah.
NA.
Are you in it now?
So
No.
now is a whole different story, but
Okay.
I'll get into that.
Okay.
Uh, but so that's whenever I ended up becoming a firefighter paramedic.
Okay.
Started my own business. Met my son's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Met her in recovery. My son came about 22. Braden, just the light of my life, and ended up becoming a firefighter, which pretty stressful job. Most of the folks that you're dealing with like dealt with that stress and
Mm-hmm.
by covering up by drinking or doing drugs.
No, for sure.
And I'd say I was like 3 years into being a firefighter. Whenever I stopped like going to meetings and stuff, I kind of
Mm-hmm.
disconnected from everybody in the positive part of my life,
Yes.
and then I started drinking again, and it didn't take long for me to go back to where I was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it progressively got worse. I was taking fentanyl off of I was a paramedic, so I had like the keys to the narc
Mm-hmm.
box. So like, I would give grandma like enough fentanyl to help her with her broken hip, and then I would
Yeah.
like take the rest.
Yeah.
And this is medical grade fentanyl, and
Yeah.
like I would squirt it in my mouth, and like that would be enough for me to just feel normal.
Wow.
Like that's how like I was
Pretty
pretty
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
And then so long story short, I ended up, I resigned from the fire department for
Mm-hmm.
reasons other than, I didn't get caught, I didn't hurt anybody. It was uh, kind of a mutual thing that I ended up moving back to Port St. Lucie, started working for another fire department, and then
Mm-hmm.
I was on probation still in the first year. And basically, an incident happened where I put gas in the diesel on the ambulance. It wasn't because I was high or anything like that, but
Were you tired?
we
Or
were
just
running
not
calls all
thinking?
night, yeah.
Yeah.
And they basically said that you can either resign or they're gonna fire you because you're not protected by the union.
Okay.
And I still had my lawn business, so I'm like, yeah, you know what? This ain't, just because I went to school for this doesn't mean I got to do it for the rest of my life. I think I was making more money cutting grass anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thinks that it's like this. I mean, it's a great retirement and stuff like that, but I feel like that, and this is America, and
Yeah.
you can have, and most firemen are entrepreneurs too, because they work 24 on and 48 off.
And
So,
what's your landscaping company?
so my landscaping company back then it was called Johnny's Do It All Services.
Okay.
That was my first business. I started that when I was 17 years old.
Okay.
But entrepreneur,
Yeah.
I was selling warheads in the sixth grade, like the
Yeah.
Sam's. Like I always had an entrepreneurial mindset. When I was a kid playing little league, like my mom couldn't afford to send me on the trip to the Dominican
Mm.
Republic, so I made like a folder with like my baseball cards in it, little
Mm-hmm.
trading cards. And I
Yeah.
went to all the car dealerships in my area, and I
And
got
so,
like
yeah.
tripled my what I needed to go to this event. So, and that just came up. So that recently someone reminded me that I'm like, yeah. So I was like hustling from like way back,
Yeah. It's kind of in your blood,
and
in your
and
DNA.
uh, and my mom always said I was like different. I was more independent than because I didn't have like a close brother or sister, and like
Mm-hmm.
and so that entrepreneurship mindset was kind of something that was in me from real young. The lawn business I started when I was 17 with my mom and dad's lawnmower, and I ended up remember Craigslist.
Yeah.
Bought a trailer off of Craigslist,
Okay.
and so that came with me. Like that was like a thing that firefighters and I did everything. Like I would go to cut someone's grass. They were like, "Hey, do you do wallpaper?" And I'd be like, "Sure." Like go home, watch a YouTube video,
Do that.
learn how to do.
So then how, I guess, like, but how did you go from that to where you are now? 'Cause it's a pretty big leap. So how are
To
you now? You have a very successful, the landscaping business. You have a podcast. You have
Yeah.
a huge following. How did that leap happen?
So 8 years ago, I hit the bottom. I hit a rock bottom. I was in jail. Got arrested for drugs, yeah. Luckily, it wasn't hard drugs. It was possession of marijuana, but I was doing other stuff at the
Yeah.
time. And that was kind of the beginning of the turning point. So like, I ended up getting out on probation. Uh, my parents, nobody wanted anything to do with me, so I
Yeah.
had to go to this prison ministry. Like my family was done with me. Like I got beat up by the cops. Like they were standing there laughing as the cops were beating me up,
Bam.
and and like one of my mug shots, you can see the black eye and stuff.
Yeah.
But so that was like uh, I found God in jail.
Okay.
For me, like I always believed in God. I always thought that like I was going to heaven. I was
Yes.
baptized Catholic as a child, but like my faith is pretty much born whenever I was 30 years
Hmm.
old. Whenever I was in the county jail,
And what happened in county jail for you to find God?
we just like we were there would be a group of us that we were reading Bibles and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up going into the drug dorm because I had a background in 12 step. And so you had people that were coming in from the outside that were like,
Mm-hmm.
obviously we had our 12 step people, and then you had
Yeah.
the faith people were coming in and
Yes.
like bringing a message. So like they would give us little handouts and stuff, and everybody else was. I really wanted to change my life.
Yes.
Like everybody else, like they'd throw it to the side or whatever, but these
Mm-hmm.
people would leave. I'd be in there, just like trying to learn as much as I could
Mm-hmm.
about the word, try to reading self-help books, self-improvement books, um, testimonial stories of like people that had made it out of being
Yes.
where I was at,
That's what happened to me too.
and so I got out, went to the prison ministry. Like to say everything happened was great and wonderful, but I ended up meeting she's now my wife.
Yes.
I and I was in the ministry. You weren't allowed, and this was part of my probation, was in this
Mm-hmm.
being in this halfway house.
Yes.
I wasn't allowed to have a girlfriend, so I ended up getting kicked out of the ministry. And my girl, she's my wife now. I was with her like 2 months. I was like, hey, I don't have a place to live or anything,
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you can come live with me in my 1 bedroom efficiency.
Yeah.
And she didn't speak any English, Brazilian girl. We at that point, a couple months in, we were communicating like a little better than translating. Um, but I don't know. She was different. She's like the first girl that in my life that I couldn't manipulate. Like I feel like most
Yeah.
women in my life, I've been able to like get over on or
Yeah.
she was different. So
And what made her like? What did you think she just saw something in
I
you?
don't know if it's the culture of like just being a hard nosed Latin woman or what,
Yeah.
but she just didn't put up with my shit. And sorry if I cuss,
No,
but
no, you're fine.
she didn't put up with my shit. I, like I said, I'd like to say everything was good. I ended up drinking again when I lived with her, and
Mm-hmm.
then I started smoking crack again. And like I would leave Friday. I would always tell myself like, oh, I'm just gonna go get one,
Yeah.
and then I wouldn't see her till Sunday when all the money was gone. And like the first couple times it happened, she'd like put my stuff out by the road like all
Yeah.
neatly, and then finally like she just started throwing it out by the road like the third weekend. And there I thought she was gonna kill me a couple times. She pulled knives out, and uh
She was not playing
she wasn't playing, and that's part of like why
because she loved you and she was trying to get you better.
she saved my life.
Yeah.
She saved my life. And like I said, she just wouldn't put up with none of my BS. And like I truly saw that. She's like, look, I don't want you in my house anymore. She called the cops. Like, you gotta go. And she's like, you either want that life or you want me. And I was like, I ended up going to another halfway house,
Yeah.
and and she wouldn't talk to me for like months. Like she was full on serious, and then I seen she was talking to somebody else. I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. Like, we're, you know,
That's my woman.
and so I changed. Like,
Yeah.
I got my shit together. The last time I used was 7 years ago. September 15th will be 7 years.
Congratulations.
Um, and uh, and that was when I went into the halfway house, and so I got out. Well, whenever I was in the halfway house, she finally started talking to me again. She's like, "Look, I don't want to get back with you unless you marry me,
Yeah.
and you're not moving into my house unless you marry me." And like American culture is like you don't have to marry somebody. Like I wasn't a Christian
Yeah.
at this point, like full on. Like I knew a little bit about the
Yeah.
word, but I wasn't like I don't know him like I know him now. So I went to the pastor and I told the pastor like, "Yo, like she's telling me this. She's gonna move if I don't marry her or
Yeah.
move somewhere else." And he's like, "Do you love her?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And like we were just at a point in our lives too where we couldn't afford anything. Like I couldn't. I'd spent all my money on drugs. I barely had a
Mm.
car. Like we could barely afford our $500 a month rent. And the pastor's like, "Look, I'll pay for the wedding." And
Mm.
we went and bought like $32, and we went and bought. She got a $10 ring, and mine was like $21 silver ring
Mm.
at Walmart.
Yeah.
And we got married at the courthouse. And I know that's like people say, "Oh, you don't need rings, you don't need like this," but like the pastor was there with us. Like we did the certificate birth or not birth certificate, the wedding certificate,
Yeah.
and then the like the pastor,
Mary Jones.
right.
And
But
how long have you guys been married? How long ago was that?
so we'll be married 7 years in October.
Oh, congratulations.
Together 8. But like I said, that first year was rocky, rough,
Mm-hmm.
and but that was the turning point. Like I said, man, when I ended up going back into jail, violated my probation. I was doing everything good. I
Yeah.
had like a year, and I violated my probation. It was like 11 months into a 12-month probation, and when I went back into jail, I was actually innocent. I was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
The cops like, yeah, right, you're not innocent. And I ended up going in the spiritual dorm, and that's
Okay.
truly where my relationship with God began.
Yeah.
So this dorm, like there was 6, 7 people a day coming in there bringing a message from churches, and I truly wanted to learn and be the best person that I could possibly be, and I knew that being a Christian was the way to go.
Yeah.
Last thing I tried, first thing that worked, and that's when I like to say like I can't quote Bible scripture, like I'm in the Bible every single day, but I'm not like that guy that is like, oh, Matthew 16:22 says this, and I'm just,
Mhm.
I guess if I say that I can't, then I'm selling myself short. But it's just they say like you can preach the gospel, and if you have to, use words.
That's one of my favorite. Saint Francis of Assisi
Yeah,
said that. Yeah, that's one of my
and
favorite like quotes.
it's like how you
Yeah,
live, how you carry yourself, and
100.
like my dad, like after my dad passed away,
Mhm.
um, I asked my mom, like, Mom, was Dad saved?
Mhm.
Because I'd never seen him go to church
Yeah,
or anything, and like, but I truly know that like the way that he lived his life and
yeah.
how the
Like he
type
knew
of person that
Jesus.
he
Yeah,
was, like he carried stuff with him from Nam that like he never
yeah,
told me about, but he got ended up getting help and like going to the VA, and
yeah,
so I think that he had that connection and became
yeah.
saved. Um,
Mm.
but those years between when I got out of jail and like became a devout man of God and started doing Bible studies and we were in the Brazilian church. I was cleaning the toilets, just as humble as could be,
Yeah.
and we grew from there. Me and my wife grew. She ended up starting her own business cleaning company. I helped her to support her to do that. She's killing it now. She makes more money than I do. People say I
Oh.
got a Porsche. Like, yeah, my wife bought it. Like, she
No,
her
that's
name's
awesome.
on the car. Like,
No, that's awesome.
and my credit was horrible. Like, I didn't know you could be in the 300s, and like so like she helped me because like we leveraged her credit to build my credit, and
Yeah.
then I kind of was in a position and all that. I started running a bulldozer when I've always run heavy equipment. That was one of the things I did even when I was a firefighter.
Yeah.
Um, and I was I was like I wanted to grow, so I went
Yeah.
from operator to foreman to superintendent to project manager. Built the Bright Line Railroad. We did 136 miles of that.
Oh, very cool. That's
Um,
very impressive.
and just like every time like I put my mind on something, like I've become like really really good at it. So,
Mhm.
I'm focused, goal oriented, goal
Yeah.
focused, and like ended up growing into every time I moved jobs, like within that first 5 years, like I'd leave.
Mhm.
You look at my resume, you're like, this guy's trouble. Like, don't hire him.
Yeah.
Like, he's once a year, I'm switching jobs. But every job that I went to after was a step up. It was
Okay.
like it was more
Like it
money.
was
It
just
was a better
like a you're going
position.
like
It
a
was
steps
like,
up.
yeah, and then so like this last time after the railroad, they wanted me to travel with them, and it was like a pay cut because I was getting paid hourly and still working 7 days a week. And and I was like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna stay here. And I ended up starting another company with a guy. It was me and him in an office, and we're bidding land development site work.
Mhm.
And me and him in an office, and I estimated the work, brought in an outsourcing team to kind of help with estimating, and we built that company from 2 people to like 30 employees. I think it was when I left. Purchased all excavator, dozer. Ended up with $18 million worth of work in 6 months.
Wow.
Um, and but the guy was a scumbag. Like he just was like he didn't pay his bills.
Mhm.
Like he just fed BS. I'm young. I was young and stupid, but I'm not.
Yeah, that
I knew
young.
he was
Yeah.
he was full of it, and but I saw that
Yeah.
what I could do, and I ended up it was another job offer that was on the table, and then there was a local company that was just starting out with land development. He was a general contractor, and I reached out to him on Facebook, and I was like, yo, I've been doing this type of work. I got connections in town. Like, I think I could be an asset to your company. And
Mhm.
he said, come on in. So that's with Alliance, which is the company that I'm with now.
Okay.
Um, was Alliance Group is the mother company. He was a established general contractor for 18 years when I first went in with him. I came in as a project manager, estimator, and kind of like the same deal. Like, told him, hey, we can go make this much money. It's going to cost this much to bid the work. Let me, go
Mhm.
go. He's like, go make money, and
Wow.
so
And how long ago was that you got with
it'll be
Alliance?
4 years in July.
Okay.
Um, and like I said, the first 6 months, everybody in the whole office was like, look at this guy just soaking up money.
Yeah.
And then like the first contract that hit was 3 million. It was like 6 months in. First year we hit 15 million. And now I'd say total from in the first 4 years we're probably somewhere a little bit south of 60 million.
Wow, that's really
And
impressive. And what's your role in the company?
so I'm executive vice president now. I worked my way up.
Okay.
He brought me in to be a partner in the company, and basically said that, now I've since become I hold one of the licenses for underground utility license. I just got it last month.
Oh, okay, congrats.
And like I said, so that whole time of my life, like I should be a felon, I should have went to prison. All
Yeah.
these things that I did, like God spared me to be able to get a contractor's license,
Yeah,
and like He had a plan, and I don't know if that's the plan was just to get my contractor's license, but
yeah. I
I'm utilizing the position that I'm in now to for I'm also partners in a ministry. It's called Braveheart Inspired. We have merchandise, bold.
mhm.
I wish I would have wore it, but bold messages on the front. We do jail and prison ministry. We do community outreach. We painted like 2 boys and girls clubs, but it's just getting a team of guys together to volunteer, and uh, and then we put on a free Christian concert every year, once a year.
Okay, and where's that you do
It's in
that?
Port St. Lucie.
What's it called? And when do you do
It's
it?
called Love Is My Religion,
Okay.
and it's usually October November time frame. And then I've been leading the men's retreat. We have a men's retreat once a year
Oh,
in
okay.
Okeechobee, and this will be our 5th year doing that. This year will be so. Um,
And then when did you start your podcast?
so
So you off camera, you were saying that kind of your influence and kind of that it's happened pretty quickly. When did that start, and
so
how did
last
that?
year, I jumped on the Wes Watson training program. If anybody's familiar with who he is, so Wes Watson was
Is he the one that just got arrested?
he's the one who just got
Okay,
arrested.
I am
But
familiar with
he
him.
I wasn't like I could get on board with like his message. But the way that he delivered it was that wasn't me because I'm a
Mm-hmm.
Christian man.
Yes.
I want to help people. I want to coach people. And like, there was
Yes.
a point in my life, I think right whenever I found out about that program is like,
Mm-hmm.
I used to be 300 pounds,
Oh, wow.
um, overweight, high cholesterol, snoring,
Mm-hmm.
um, not doing well. My wife was feeding me rice
Yeah.
and beans. I was, she was trying to
Did you
fatten
know
me up.
us him personally, or was it
I
just like a
ended up
program?
meeting them through Instagram,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
like I just remember seeing like them training, and I'm like, I could do that.
Yeah.
And then so I ended up going to train with them a couple times. I jumped on the elite program,
Mm-hmm.
and basically more so for like the growth in the Instagram, and
Yeah.
to grow. Like I didn't even know that I wanted to do fitness coaching at that time, but I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to help people. I wanted to be a coach.
Yes.
I feel like when you get to a certain point, like when you lose 300 pounds, people start asking you, like, how did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you go from being homeless on the street to, driving, and I don't like to say this like the material things aren't important. It just
Yeah.
became like icing on the cake. And for someone who came from nothing
Yeah.
like me, like I don't brag about it because everything I have is because of God,
100%.
and I enjoy it. Like I always told myself, like I feel like when you get to a certain goal, then you're like, now what?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the temporary filling
Yes.
of the void. Whereas like the only thing that it can fill that void eternally is Jesus, and
Amen.
and all the things have been like icing on the cake. It's not
Yes.
like something that is my goal in life is to go get a bunch of stuff. What's the Joby said, cash and prizes. Cash and
Yeah.
prizes aren't guaranteed, but one thing I've noticed is that when I give of my time, and I'm a servant, and I give, and I'm a cheerful giver, is that my cup continues to overflow.
Yes, I agree.
Um,
And I think you have to be careful, like with like, and I don't know what's, but just like when people have like that main character energy, because when you have that and it's about you, you're gonna fall.
so he definitely
Yeah.
like that. My downfall every
Mm.
single time in my life is ego,
100% for myself
easing
too.
God out.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a video posted yesterday of him in jail right
Yeah.
now reading the Bible
Yeah.
and talking about God. And it's like if you stay
Stay
there,
humble or be humbled.
there's
That's what
and
I
that's the
always
one thing
say.
I always
Yeah.
like say to myself. I always take an
Yeah.
inventory of like my life and how I am like
Yeah.
on a daily basis. Like I want to remain humble. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to ever get to the point where like I got this, I did this
Uh,
because
And I think that when someone like yourself that has influence is speaking about Jesus, that you have even potentially, and even like a Joby, even more like spiritual temptation because the enemy's like, if I could bring him down, then,
Yeah.
so I think that like you just have to really stay really close to Jesus because the enemy wants to take you down. So then people say, look,
We're being attacked daily,
mm-hmm.
and like I'm able to
Yeah.
discern what is and what isn't of God because of my relationship is so close with him because I
Yeah.
just talk to him every single day. Like now I don't have to be like, oh, I got to pray about this. Like I already
Yeah.
know what the right thing to do is. I already know the direction that I'm supposed to go.
Yes.
And sometimes it's not like getting on your hands and knees and praying about it, but you're
Yeah.
just driving down the road and God reveals a message to you to where
Mm-hmm.
you're like, if you have to stop and think about it, it's your will. If you
Right.
have to stop and say like, should I do this? You already, I just give up after that because I
Mm-hmm.
know it's what I want to do, not what he wants me to do.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, what I want to do or what he wants me to do, I don't want to do.
Right. Exactly.
And that's where like discipline came in for me. And like that's what the Bible tells you. It says go make disciples. And what's the root word of disciple is discipline. So like we have
Yeah.
to be disciplined. We have to be able to do the things you don't want to do on a daily basis. And like a lot of the guys that I work with now, like through the empowerment coaching and the Bible study and stuff like that, is like you have to put God first.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. Like they're like, hey, I want you to mentor me. I'm like, all right, come to the Bible study.
Yeah.
And so like that's where my like recovery has gone to because I've done Celebrate Recovery. We started Celebrate Recovery programs. I've done
Mm-hmm.
AA, NA, DA.
I'm with you. So you
Went
go
to
to
AAA
scripture.
if I
Mm-hmm.
could.
Yes.
But here's the reality: is it like what like every single meeting is in a church. You're
Mm-hmm.
praying in the beginning and after
Yeah.
and after it. You're passing the basket, which is like tithing,
Yes.
right? Like it's a mirror. It's your network. You're not networking, but you're fellowshipping with like-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a mirror image of a church congregation. So like it tricked me into believing in God. And that's
Yeah.
why I think I became such a good Christian is because of 12 step. Like I actually worked the steps.
Yes.
Every single principle is biblical. It
It
comes
is.
from Matthew. So
But
it
it's
was
not Christ
easier.
centered. That's the only thing I don't
It's
like about
not.
it. So
It's
that's why I'm not, yeah.
and I'm not. I don't got nothing against
Yeah,
it because
I
that's where that was
100%.
my foundation,
Yes,
and I
for
will still
sure.
go into those rooms and
Yeah.
share a message of and
Yes.
be respectful of the
No.
whatever
Yes. No.
you
Yeah.
know. Uh, but for me today, like I just what works for me might kill somebody else. So like this is just kind of the direction that I've been moved into with God because like I don't claim that I'm an addict. I don't claim that I'm alcoholic. Like I don't put myself in that box anymore. And I'm a new man. The Bible tells me that. And I don't if I tell myself I'm an hi, my name's Johnny, I'm an
No,
addict.
I
Like I
agree.
feel like that it's keeping me in this box of like only being able to help addicts and alcoholics when God has so
No,
much more for
I'm,
us. Like I
yeah.
help more people today. Yes, my story is addiction. Yes, I
Yes.
think but I help more people today that don't have problems with drugs and alcohol. Like
Mm.
there was a guy that I was sponsoring that he was it was he had a problem cheating on women. Like
Yeah.
that was his which
Yeah.
is
Sex. Yeah. Exactly.
you can
There's a
have
lot.
addiction
Gambling,
to
sex.
all of it. Anything
Yeah.
like people ask me what my drug of choice was, more.
Yeah.
That's what my drug of choice is.
Mm-hmm.
If it made me feel better and
Yes.
whatever it was, making money, spending money, you could go shopping. I'm a shopper. I I love the clearance rack. Uh, and that I mean, you ain't nothing better than going spending $1,000 at the mall. Getting some new shoes.
Yeah.
But there's being able to like too much of anything is
Yeah.
it's proven with water. Like right, you drink too
Right.
much water, you can die. So um, within reason, balancing it for me today.
So you talk about a little bit about discipline. What is your like daily discipline that helps you stay a leader in your family, your business,
Just doing the
others?
same thing every day, just
So what's your
positive daily
routine looking
habits.
like?
Every single morning, I'm up at 4 a.m., whether I want to be or not.
Mm-hmm.
Even on the weekends, I'm at least waking up at 4. Whether I stay awake or go back to sleep is another thing.
Yeah.
But it's real difficult for me to sleep till like 8 on a Saturday and Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just become like muscle memory. And the other thing is like the first 30 minutes of my day, I don't look at my phone. I don't even touch it. I put it to the side and that's my time with God. So I'm in my living room. I call it my God couch. I have my Bible. I have my daily devotional paper versions because that's your weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the phone goes to the side until I'm done with my morning routine. And it's usually a proverb. There's a proverb a day
Mm-hmm.
there's 31
Yes.
proverbs. There's usually 31 days,
Mm-hmm.
30 to 31 days in a month. And then I kind of go through like Bible Hub or some other uh, 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 study guide after,
Mm.
I go through whatever I go through in the morning, and on my face praying. And 5 days of Monday through Friday, I'm at the gym. After that, uh, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays like hit training. Tuesdays and Thursdays is weight training, and
Okay.
some Saturdays my wife's day.
Okay.
So if I get to go to the gym on Saturday, she's getting her toes done. Like
Yeah.
that's like every other week.
Yeah.
So I get to go to the gym on Saturday mornings, and but that's her day. We've established that. Like there's nothing else happening on a Saturday except me and her hanging out.
That's
Most
awesome.
Friday nights we're hanging out.
Yeah.
And now I'm a grandpa, so
Yeah.
there's, and then we got a couple of grandbabies living with us, so that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Um, my son is spends most of his time over at his mom's house. She's the easier one, and he tells me, he's like, I don't want to be so disciplined with you. I'm like, one day you will, son.
Yeah.
One day everything I told you, you're gonna be like, Dad was right. And
Yeah.
all I want is to take out the garbage. You don't want to hear my voice? Just take the garbage out.
Yeah.
Put some waters in the fridge. Like so. But I love him to death. He's been in God's hands. Like I was able to be in the water with him and be there with while he
Oh,
was getting baptized. So many blessings I've been able to like just receive because of changing, having God change and transform my life. And like I said, that's the main thing. No matter what, every day is keeping Him first.
yeah.
But my phone starts ringing at 7, so gym has to be early in the morning, and then obviously work. And then the podcast is has become, it's getting bigger and bigger. It's like turned
That's
into something I never thought it would turn into.
that's awesome. And how long ago did you start it?
Started it in March of last year.
Wow.
Was the first one. A buddy of mine came to me, and so with the Wes Watson program, part of that was to be a guest on podcast.
Okay.
So I started becoming guest. We were making clips, like posting it, and then like
Hmm.
people, there was just I got so much. The first couple of them hit a couple 100,000
Yeah.
views, and then like I got a lot of feedback saying, and so moving back a little bit,
Hmm.
probably I'd say about 2 3 years ago, I posted on TikTok every single day.
Okay.
This was like 6 months straight. I posted a video, just positive,
Yes.
like this is what I'm working on. Everybody, encourage you guys to do this kind of deal, and then I hit like 12,000 followers on
Okay.
TikTok, and had a YouTube channel then. And then just it's hard to maintain that. So like little by little, I just kind of got away from it. I opened up YouTube last year. Every single one of those videos had 25,000 views on them. So I was like, oh, maybe there's something here.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, when I started posting the clips from being a guest, then people were like, hey, come be a guest on my podcast. Hey, I love your story. Like, this, and this. And so, like I said, it turned into something I never thought it would turn into. And I think it's important. I think telling your story is important. I think every single person on this earth has a story. It doesn't have to be this extravagant like thing where you like ran from the cops or whatever, but
Yeah.
like you got something inside of you some sort of adversity in your life that you overcame that made you stronger. And whether you see it or not yet, that's another thing. Like
Yes.
taking a look at your life and being able to say, hey, you know what? All that pain and adversity wasn't for nothing. If I can
Hmm.
share it with somebody and help somebody else.
Yeah.
Um,
And you talk a lot about like mindset and legacy. So, with all the adversity and everything you're doing, why are you doing this?
Honestly, it's a passion of mine. Like it has turned into like it's turned into just something that I like to do. Like
Yeah.
I meet really cool people. Like I have a Rolodex of like just high and like awesome people,
Yeah.
like people that are just wanting to be the best versions of themselves on a daily basis. I get to meet them and I get to hear their story, and then I get to stay connected with them afterwards. So it's like
Yeah.
I can pick up my phone right now and probably text like 5 people. If I wanted to start a business, they're like,
Yeah.
let's go. We're doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
and just um, it, being placed in rooms where, like you wouldn't have had any other way. So, I mean, the day that people start telling me it's not helping them anymore is the day I'll stop. And, like I said, the podcast, it's turning into something crazy. So,
That's awesome. So when someone comes to you, for example, like they're inspired by you and they're like, "Hey, how do I get to where you are?" What's your advice to them?
I mean, I just try to figure out what they're struggling with first. I mean, big, and I don't mind, like, I help anybody. Like, I know I have, like, people tell me I have like resting asshole face, but I'm like seemed unapproachable because I go to the
Yeah.
gym. People are like, say it, but I'm just early in the morning. I'm like
Yeah.
focused or whatever. But I'm approachable. Like, I'm a big teddy bear.
Yeah.
People, you can ask any question you want. You want to hit my DM, you want to, shoot me a text, whatever. Like, I answer the phone. If I don't answer, I'll call you back or text you back. And same thing with the DMs. Like, I get back to pretty much everybody, and I'll answer any questions. But I tell them that find out what they're struggling with first. I'm not one of them people. It's like, I want to hurry up and get you on a coaching program. Like,
Mhm.
I don't, I make money doing what I do for a living. Like, I don't need to go
Yes.
be an empowerment coach on the side. Like, I feel like God kind of brings the people into my life that he wants me to work with. And that's kind of how it's been, because there was a time in the beginning where I had like 10 clients, and like not one of them was doing what they were supposed to do, and they were paying me. And it's
Yeah.
like, I want to work with people who I want to help people who want to help themselves.
And for your empowerment coaching business, is that more, are people coming to you more? Do you see, is it entrepreneurs saying, hey, help me get right with my business? Or is it people more just like, hey, I'm struggling with life,
So
help me get right with life, or kind of both? Who are the type of people that are coming or to reach out and,
people want to grow their faith, people who want to get past, like, they have a business idea, they want to become an entrepreneur. People who already have businesses that want to scale their businesses.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't like, for faith, growing their faith. You can't charge nobody for that. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be like, give me $500 and tell you to read the Bible. No.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's the other part, is
Yeah.
like, the only reason I charge for my time is very valuable. Like,
Yes.
I don't, like, I feel like if somebody's paying you, they're gonna pay attention. So the three or four people that I've worked with so far
Mm-hmm.
have 6x their businesses, have grown their relationships at home. And the only thing I say is that, put God first. Put God first, and everything else is gonna flourish.
Yes.
And that's been my story, and that's what happened to me. And but there's, that's what I would tell people: figure out what they're struggling with, start working on the faith thing. Not
Yeah.
everybody's a Christian or going to be a Christian, so it's like, whatever it is, if the Buddha is your, they all kind of mean the same thing. So just start putting your faith in Buddha and getting up on a daily basis, being positive, and don't speak death over your life, speak life over your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. There's power in the tongue. It says that.
Death and life is in the
Yeah.
power of the tongue. That's the
Hmm.
one verse I know.
Yes, exactly. I have
Those who
it.
love it eat of
I
its
have it over in
fruits.
my living room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, for
Proverbs
sure.
18:21.
Yep. It's great. I also do that. I try every morning to Proverbs, a psalm, and red words,
Yeah.
because that's like in
Red
before,
word. Oh yeah,
like
because
Jesus. Yeah, just like I try to do it because
I
it's
still
like,
got my jail Bible, so it
yeah.
doesn't have that.
So
My wife gets mad at me when
yeah.
I take it to church because it's all
So
beat up.
okay, yeah, and mine actually doesn't have red words, but I know the red. You know, I really
Yeah.
like to go to Jesus and just try to do that in the morning and night, just because it's like you're always gonna get something from a proverb, a psalm, and a red
Yeah.
word. So
And you could read the
yeah,
same one next
exactly.
month.
That's where it's like I just
Yeah.
exactly yeah, and it's
It's wherever you're at in your
yeah,
life.
and I
That's
mean
the
I
beauty of a
try to
living word.
yeah to do more, but at minimum those three things morning night, and
You
it's
got to
like
get the devotional.
yeah,
Start doing the
I
devotional.
know.
I
So
got one, and I'll give you one.
yeah, that'd be good. And then what's one belief or principle that you refuse to compromise on no matter what? Like no matter what the opportunity, like what's something that like no matter money that you're not going to waver on?
I would say drinking.
Okay. Oh,
You couldn't pay me to drink. There ain't enough alcohol out there.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say that.
That's good. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ruined a lot of people's lives and the people around them. So, looking ahead, what's one of the bigger missions of everything you're building right now?
So right now, what I'm working on is something that was on my list of things to do this year. One of my goal lists was to start a personal development, self-development group locally. It is going to be more faith-based, so I'm not going to hit people with that too much until we actually get in the room.
Yeah.
But that's
Is it
going to
gonna like
launch.
is it gonna surprise them?
Well, iron sharpens iron. Those,
Yes, for sure, 100%.
there's, uh, but men and women personal development group, and to just get around people who are people who want to change, who want to grow, who want to, take their lives to the next level, take their faith to the next level. There's 5 pillars. I don't want to share too much about it yet because it's going to launch
Yeah.
next month, and but it's going to be local into Treasure Coast, which is Port St. Lucie, Indian River, and Palm Beach counties. But we are going to have a webinar version to where people can tune in for that as well. It'll be once a month. It's a group, so we're going to meet once a month. We'll have weekly calls, but the one time we meet during the month will be like a master class. So
Okay, very cool.
um,
So if people are interested in doing that or being part of your like empowerment coaching, how do they just reach out, like DM
so
you or
disciplineandlegacy.com has pretty much everything on it.
okay.
It has I wrote a blueprint of the books, the five F's: the faith, family, focus, finances, and fitness. And that's the blueprint for me that on a daily basis is what I'm checking
And the
myself
web,
on.
say it again, just repeat it, please. Discipline and Legacy,
Disciplineandlegacy.com.
disciplineandlegacy.com.
And then I have the daily devotional, which was a 365-day devotional. I started reading a devotional in jail,
Yeah.
Faith to Faith, Daily Bread,
Mm,
um, and it's an e-version that's free. Like you can get it on Amazon,
yeah.
Kindle. But there was a lot of people that were reaching out to me saying they wanted a paper version. Same reason why I want to have a paper Bible is
Yes.
to kind of have both of those there in the mornings,
Mm-hmm.
so my phone's not involved at all, and
Yes.
I'm reading scripture. I'm jumping into my devotional, and so I have paper versions too. They're $28 I think with shipping, on disciplinelegacy.com, and the same we're going to be launching the personal development group on there as well.
Okay, very
The
cool.
Iron Legacy Collective is what it's called.
Okay, this is really cool. And then what about, and then your other business? If
Land
some,
development.
yeah, if somebody is
So
watching and wants to,
Alliance Land Development
yeah.
is a turnkey site development company where everything from clearing the trees, doing all your earthwork, underground utilities, site concrete, site paving. We just implemented a full shell division, so now we're doing concrete slabs, all the CMU block work. We're doing the other division of our company is a roofing division, Alliance Group. So we're providing basically turnkey shell and a turnkey site package. AllianceLandDevelopment.com. You can get us there for the info email, and all the Alliance Land Development on Instagram, Alliance Land Development on TikTok. We're blowing those up. We're getting 200,000 plus views on some of the content we're posting over there. And it's cool because like you're
Yeah.
attracting like employees from all over the nation, and even like locally, like we're setting the bar. Like we're not your average like third generation like site development company. We're new school
That's
kind
cool.
of technology. And I think that's important because the trades nowadays you need, like there's not kids lining up to go be electricians. There's not kids lining up to go
Yeah.
be plumbers. Like we need to educate them. We need to show them that what we do is cool. Like I don't know what young kid, boy or girl. I think
Yeah.
there's some girls like bulldozers and heavy equipment too when they
Yeah.
were kids. So like let's teach people about it so that we can continue to have a workforce.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that's actually next is the training program for construction.
And then
Um,
so I always ask all my guests the same last two questions. So the first one is, it comes from, there's a verse in Psalms that talks about a man without a vision perishes. And I
mm,
believe a lot of people that commit suicide, in part, it's because they have no vision. They have no hope. They see no hope. They see no vision. I think it's really important to be connected to Jesus, God, and have a vision, because I think that that keeps us alive. And it says that in scripture, that without a vision,
connection with anybody. I
yeah,
think
and
most people
yeah,
are
and
wanting to
without it,
have suicide or isolated or
exactly, yeah, and they don't have.
mental health.
So that being said, what is your 5 year kind of vision for the business and family? What is your like a 5 year vision
Um,
look like?
Obviously, the hopefully we can sell the company.
The
But no, I say that to say that like there's always
landscaping company, right?
the land development company,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, land
and
development. I
then
apologize.
but there's I think I'm always going to be involved in construction. So
Mm-hmm.
that's always going to have a part, especially now that I'm a a license
Yes.
holder. So I'll either be, providing a license for somebody
Mm-hmm.
or, but so I still plan on being in construction at the 5 year mark. We want to be developing our own properties at 5 years.
Okay.
Um, I, Sky's the limit for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not the type of person that's like, I want this big, huge house and want all these cars and want all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I really like something that new that has jumped in is like helping other addicts and alcoholics is to like get a sober living or like a some sort of ministry to get people on
Mm-hmm.
their feet again when they get out, because that's what helped me. So I see something like that happening and being in the
Yeah.
5 year plan. Um, But to be honest, I mean, I haven't really thought too deep and hard
Yeah.
about it.
And then the final question is there a quote or a saying or anything that you live by or you think is good that you'd want to share?
Um, Not really like any quotes or anything. I just I don't yeah, I don't have any quotes.
Okay, that's all right.
I listen to every single motivation video on YouTube.
Okay.
There's not one that I haven't heard
All
unless they're
right.
posting it like today.
Yeah.
But I've heard them all.
All right. And that helps you a lot?
It did. That was like
Yeah.
the early on, like when I was uh, working for the railroad and stuff, like every day.
Yeah. Well, is there anything I didn't ask you that you'd want to share?
Um, I guess like hopefully somebody got something from this. I mean, this young lady, go follow her, go check her
Oh,
out.
thank
She's
you.
killing the game. And she's gonna do my podcast right now, so we get to
Yeah.
hear her
Well, thank you.
story.
I really appreciate that
And
opportunity as well.
it's important, I think, if anything, to just get your story out, tell your story,
Yeah.
to anybody that'll listen. You
Yeah.
don't listen to what people say. Silence the naysayers. Let your walk match your talk.
Yes.
And for me, like I always have been the person that was like, you know, uh, don't let the work speak for itself, no matter what it is. So
Well, thank you so much for coming and thank you all for watching.